Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
What makes a horror film kill memorable, terrific, even in some way profound or poignant? Let's explore. Thanks for checking this out. If anything about it trips your fancy, please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Without further ado, a repellent and terrifying killer is out trolling for someone on which to inflict suffering. Since the guy displays the scalps of his victims on mannequins, that's a terrifying omen. At a hospital, in the dead of night, two nurses get off work.
Pat, is your turn to take your brother? Oh, no thanks, Kat. I'll be here in a second. If not, I'll splurge and take a taxi.
They spill out into the night. There's awareness there's a killer about.
Oh, I hate reading the newspapers these days with that kook running around. Yuck. I know, that guy's really a sicko. I hope they catch him soon.
And it's easy to hope he will be apprehended soon. The blonde nurse seems conscientious in her job.
Oh, be sure and check Mr. Gannon's IV on your shift tomorrow. Yeah, pulled it out again tonight. Not again, he's too much.
Too bad she wasn't as conscientious in her life's choices. She gets offered a final pardon.
You sure I can't give you a lift?
And turns it down.
No, thanks. Okay, see you tomorrow.
The first of a series of the worst mistakes she will ever make. No sooner than her friend drives off, the ignominious maniac, Frank Zito, appears. Her ride failing to show, her second mistake, the blonde nurse sets off alone. Frank ambles after her casually, stalking his prey with the single-mindedness of a predator. Rightfully paranoid, she tries to maintain high situational awareness, and notices the weirdo behind her. As he keeps pace, her nervousness skyrockets. At the first opportunity, she commits to her third mistake and makes her way down into the subway. Her worry is palpable. She's put in a real time crunch when Frank appears. And only just eludes him. With no other choice, she goes even deeper. Only to miss the train. Stuck now. She runs for it. And winds up in a public restroom. Frank comes looking for her and seems a little stymied. He makes his way into the restroom. seemingly doesn't perceive her on the other side of the stall door. And leaves. Shaking with terror, she listens. Until it sounds like he leaves for real. Then hesitantly emerges. Gains some confidence. And decides to give her face a scrub. Clearly, she has evaded danger and she's home free. Frank disagrees and makes a shish kebab of her. Cut to Frank with a new mannequin.
Getting very careless.
What makes this exit extraordinary? For one thing, how the sequence masterfully pulls the strings of suspense. We're talking Hitchcockian levels of audience ringing, squeezing for everything it's worth. Anticipation mounts, fear rises, and it's impossible not to have intense concern for the nurse. She suspects Frank is a danger. We know it for a fact. She assumes there's a good chance he's the loony the papers are going on about. We know he's the guy. Due to its bottom-of-the-barrel budget, the whole thing was shot Gonzo style, stealing shots wherever they could, and graphic gore, some of Tom Savini's best work. Maniac has been referred to as a Z-grade movie. This is seemingly based mostly on subject matter offending delicate sensibilities, since this sequence alone demonstrates that even an exploitation film made for pennies on the dollar, compared to a studio picture, can rise above its fly-by-night micro-budget shortcomings to create aspects in league with the work of masters.
I don't care.
The nurse said she would take a cab if worse came to worse, so why didn't she walk back into the hospital and call one? A kindergartner would probably know better than to be out alone when a madman is collecting scalps. So why would an adult have such a lapse in judgment? I believe it comes down to personal denial. You never think it will be you or your loved one. It's the detachedness most of us have to the notion extreme violence could be visited upon us. Evil can approach, but it can never pounce. Some magical force will always hold it at bay. It's the compartmentalization that makes bad choices possible, and in most instances doesn't get us killed. Can you really blame her, though? Sure, the paper headlines scream about the maniac's exploits, but New York City, even just his hunting grounds, is an enormous place, like bigger than most can even comprehend unless they experience it for themselves. Really, it was all about bad timing and coincidence. It didn't seem like Frank had seen her before and stalked her, although I suppose it's possible. If as random as it seems, it came down to a confluence of choices on both sides of the equation. Had Frank walked off in the opposite direction when he left his apartment, or the nurse's ride shown up, their run-in never would have occurred. In only my second video I talked about Maniac because it's a film that's always impressed me with its wild displays of gritty violence and its sad story, and I've always felt the nurse's death was orchestrated beautifully, stretching out the suspense almost to the point of torture. That her short-lived giggly relief is only a prelude to a sharp reversal of fortunes has always struck me as a terrific setup, because we breathe a sigh of relief for her too. Only to get the trapdoor dropped out from under us when Frank appears behind her. What's the lesson in all this? If there's a maniac on the loose and someone offers you a ride, take it. If not, take a cab or Uber. Whatever the cost, it doesn't exceed the value of your life. Well, I've about reached the end of the rope, so I won't leave you dangling. Thanks for hearing out my ramblings. Please share any refutations, opinions, accusations, japes, or other ideas in the comments below. And please join me for whatever I'm up to next time. Bye now!
Bye, creepy man! Keep it creepy!
What will people say?